7. Visit their website at www.nicjamaica.com or visit any of their office locations today. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
32 of the world's best national football teams have converged in the Middle Eastern nation of Qatar for the greatest show on earth, the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Tune into Power Play from now until December 18 for the 2022 FIFA World Cup Roundup, Monday to Friday, 6:10 to 6:30 p.m. Brought to you by P&D Williams Heavy Equipment Limited and Marja Black Quarry and Block Factory. Words of the cheer from everywhere, filling the air, running round, sing songs of the cheer. Christmas is here, giving only merry, merry Christmas, giving merry, merry,
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:19. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:19. 现在几点了？4点19分。19 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And we know that most of you are doing exams now, end of term exams. We hope you get the results that you work for. Nothing more, nothing less. How about that? After all, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Thank you very much. Keep those messages coming in. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And greetings to you too. Who is this now? Let's see. Well, good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And all the very best. And here's another one. Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. There's an organization called Alcoholics Anonymous and others for other causes. I'm asking if there's one for people with depression. It is a real sickness. I suffer with it at times. Maybe some of your listeners who suffer likewise could call and tell how they manage it. And this is from the listener who goes by the name Moringa Man. Moringa Man. Where, first of all, we commiserate with you. We're sorry to hear of the mental health issues in terms of depression that you have been experiencing. We are encouraged by the fact that you have messaged us in the first place. That's a good place to start. So we establish a connection to say to you that you are important, just as important as anybody else. And to borrow from desiderata of things hoped for, desiderata in that piece, desiderata, which means things hoped for. It speaks to a number of aspects of our lives. And just to remind us, if you don't mind, Meringa Man, remind ourselves of the wording. There's a particular section there. Uh, right. So it says, and hope you're listening, Moringa Man. It says, "Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. That's the piece Desiderata, which means things hoped for. Especially for Moringa Man, we trust the words of that spoken word piece resonated with you. Keep in touch, please. Janelle says, thank you. You are welcome. Another message. Hello, I am Kimberly. I listen to you every Saturday morning. Thank you very much, Kimberly, for listening to us every Saturday morning on the Jamaican Diaspora live online here on Power 106 FM. Good to have you messaging us this afternoon. Thank you very much, and all the very best to you. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. Bit of history for you. It's a good time on this International Civil Aviation Day. Here is another snippet of Jamaica's contribution to aviation. It's a good time to let the world know that the Usain Bolt of aviation is a Jamaican. We're talking about the Jamaican-born Captain Barrington Irving Jr. Captain Barrington Irving Jr., the world's youngest and first black man to set 2 world records by flying solo around the globe. He landed at the Opa-locka Airport in Miami, Florida, June 27, 2007, after more than 130 hours on a 97-day, 26,800-mile world flight adventure. The journey included stops in the Azores, Spain, Greece, Egypt, Dubai, India, Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Japan. That's Barrington Irving, the world's youngest and the first black man to set 2 world records by flying solo around the globe. He was born at St. Joseph's Hospital in Vineyard Town, Kingston, Jamaica.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30 in the afternoon here in St. Andrew, Jamaica.
Need water for agricultural purposes? Apply to the National Irrigation Commission for your irrigation services. Let's grow smart and eat smart with irrigated agriculture. Call National Irrigation Commission at 876-927-6727. Visit their website at www.nicjamaica.com or visit any of their office locations today. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
It's the season of good cheer. The management and staff of Wellington Dental wish for their faithful customers a peaceful and safe holiday season as they continue to help you maintain a healthy and beautiful smile. Call 876-984-5482, 876-749-3515, or 876-413-3691. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, one and all.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:29. 现在几点了？5点加29分。29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. let's go through some of the information that we have here for you. Updating some information here. So we're being told that more unions have signed the public sector compensation deal. That's one of the stories trending right now. More unions ink public sector compensation deal. Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison has in fact reported that the number of unions representing public sector workers who have signed the new compensation system has now increased from 17 to 19. In making the disclosure this morning during a meeting of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, Morrison also indicated that 20 unions are yet to sign the agreement. The 25,000 plus membership of the Jamaica Teachers Association and the Jamaica Police Federation, which represents rank and file members of the police force, as well as the Medical Doctors Association, have not yet signed the new compensation document. Members of the PAAC this morning examined the second supplementary estimates of expenditure, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. During the deliberations, committee members quizzed Morrison on how members of Parliament would be compensated under the new compensation system. Morrison told the committee that there's a formula that is used to determine the increased salaries to be paid to MPs. She said that the formula is linked to the permanent secretary group, but noted that the pay adjustment for those senior technocrats is not yet settled. We will see how that unfolds. Another story, I believe this is related to the city, was it the Petrojam? Yes, the Petrojam scandal. Jamaica Money Market Brokers Limited, JMMB, has confirmed that a person unconnected to Petrojam was able to access two of the refinery's accounts last month. JMMB's statements follow recent claims in court that former Petrojam General Manager Floyd Grindley was still a signatory to the account and was able to check the account, which had in it more than 19 million US dollars. In a media release this afternoon, JMMB said on November 7, a view-only online access to the two investment accounts was inadvertently allowed to a JMMB account unconnected to Petrojam due to a historical association within the JMMB system. It said the issue was identified and corrected the next day. The bank also noted that with view-only access, no transactions can be conducted. However, JMMB disputed that Grindley was still a signatory to the accounts, noting that they were updated and the current signatories were employees of Petrojam. It said the update was made in 2019 following a request from Petrojam. In relation to the November breach, JMMB said it acknowledges that its unintended action had caused the organization to fall short of its service delivery commitment to Petrojam, and they also recognize that it caused them grave concern. We unreservedly apologize to Petrojam for any negative impact and inconvenience that our action has caused, it continued. JMMB said it had taken all the necessary steps to prevent a recurrence of the issue. That's major. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And let's share with you a bit of information of a historic nature right now. All right, let's go to 1865. 1865, planter, merchant, and journalist Sidney Lindo Levine was taken to Spanish Town on this day in 1865, and under a writ of habeas corpus obtained by his daughter, Mrs. Matilda Henriquez, was freed by Sir Byron Edwards, the Chief Justice of Jamaica. Sidney Lindo Levine, a Jew, started the political Eagle and then acquired the Cornwall Chronicle, merging the two papers in 1850 into the County Union. In 1865, Sidney Lindo Levine wrote an editorial in the County Union criticizing Governor Eyre on his handling of the Morant Bay Rebellion, and was arrested and imprisoned for 36 days, and again the following year for 7 months, during which time he was taken to Morant Bay and locked up in the police station. Returning to Montego Bay, he wrote and published a description of his imprisonment from November 1 to December 8, 1865. Because of this, he was summoned to Kingston to face charges of publishing seditious articles. He was found guilty by a jury who recommended mercy, but was sentenced to 12 months' imprisonment in the county jail. The Royal Commission, set up under Sir Henry Storks to inquire into the Morant Bay Rebellion and its suppression, recommended a pardon for Sidney. He was released after serving 6 months of his sentence, and in 1866, at the age of 57, went to live with his daughter, Mary Ann Sherlock, at 68 Harbour Street in Kingston. He continued as non-resident editor of the County Union newspaper until 1875, when it was closed down. Sidney Levine continued writing editorials that were reported in the Falmouth Post and Daily Gleaner. From about 1867, he operated a factory on Harbour Street that preserved turtle products, gaining for himself the nickname Turtle Soup Levine. He died in 1895 at the age of 86 and is buried in the Ashkenazi Jewish Cemetery on Wynwood Road. The Nuttall Hospital was officially opened on this day in 1923. The building was blessed by the Right Reverend George Frederick Cecil de Carteret, whose name lives on in de Carteret College. Good afternoon to our friends and family at de Carteret College, the de Carteret family. Good afternoon to you. How is everybody? Wonderful. Right, so the Nuttall Hospital was officially opened on this day in 1923. The building was blessed by the Right Reverend George Frederick Cecil de Carteret, whose name lives on in de Carteret College in Mandeville, Manchester. The deacon and priest who was appointed Assistant Bishop of Jamaica in 1916. That was George Frederick Cecil de Carteret. Bishop de Carteret's name, as we said, lives on in not just de Carteret College in Mandeville, Manchester, but also de Carteret Road. But back to Nuttall Hospital, which was officially opened on this day in 1923 by His Excellency Leslie Probyn, Governor of Jamaica. The hospital's architect was Mr. S.C. Henriquez, who worked with Dr. George Lockett, a leading young surgeon, and Miss Mabel Hope, who moved from the Archbishop Nuttall Nursing Home to become the first matron of the new hospital. The hospital had 17 private rooms and 2 small wards, one for male and the other for females. Each ward had 3 beds. The building was constructed by Messrs. Mays and Sant. The institution was named the Nuttall Memorial Hospital to commemorate the life of the great Enos Nuttall, Archbishop of the West Indies, a Christian leader of exceptional vision and a great humanitarian. Reverend Enos Nuttall came to Jamaica in 1862 as a missionary in the Methodist Church and was ordained a priest in the Anglican Church in 1866. And according to the Diocese of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, was elected bishop at a special synod in July 1880. He was consecrated in St. Paul's Cathedral, London, in October of the same year. He was only 38 years old at his consecration and was to dominate the life of the church for the next 36 years, serving as Bishop of Jamaica, as well as Primate and Archbishop of the West Indies. Enos Nuttall was born in Lancashire, England on January 26, 1842. It's a lot of history. It's very rich. The Anglican province of the West Indies was created in 1883 and held its first provincial synod in Jamaica in October in that year. Nuttall played a leading role in drawing up a constitution for the province. Bishop William Percy, Piercy, Bishop William Percy Austin of Guyana was elected the first primate. Nuttall succeeded Bishop Austin as primate in 1893. His title was changed from primate to archbishop in 1897. Archbishop Nuttall continued to make outstanding contributions both to the diocese and to the province. It was by his efforts that the church was placed on a sound footing after disestablishment. Disestablishment, that's a word, yes. Before disestablishment, the church was state-owned in that not only did the clergy receive their stipends from the government, but church property was owned by the state as well. However, out of a population of approximately 400,000, only about 48,000 persons claimed membership in the Church of England. Nevertheless, the church received over £40,000 a year from the government. The government could no longer afford to maintain the church, and in 1870 it passed Law 30 of 1870, which provided for the gradual disendowment of the Church of England in Jamaica and the establishment of the incorporated lay body of the church. There was a rapid expansion in the number of churches founded, especially in Kingston and St. Andrew. Churches such as St. Jude's, St. Matthew's, St. Luke's, St. Patrick's, and All Saints all date from this period. The church then became self-governing and self-supporting, and Enos Nuttall was instrumental in helping the church to navigate that period of disestablishment. After the January 14, 1907 earthquake, Archbishop Nuttall, who headed an assistance committee, did great service in relieving the wants of the people. Archbishop Nuttall was the longest-serving chairman of the board of what is now known as the Jamaica University College. He served as chairman from 1882 to 1916. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:46 on Power 106.
32 of the world's best national football teams have converged in the Middle Eastern nation of Qatar for the greatest show on earth, the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Tune into Power Play from now until December 18 for the 2022 FIFA World Cup Roundup, Monday to Friday, 6:10 to 6:30 p.m. Brought to you by P&D Williams Heavy Equipment Limited and Marja Black Quarry and Block Factory.
Y ahora es en español, son las 5:14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:13. 现在地点了5:13分. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Continuing with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Here is Veril calling us on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Good afternoon, Veril. Thanks for holding. What's on your mind this afternoon?
I'm just letting you know that I'm present in class and enjoying the program, especially the one with I'm Jamaican. I love that poem very much. And my family knows that even if I die abroad, they have to bring me home.
Oh, that's the This Is Jamaica poem. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. This is where I want to be buried.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was very interesting. And I love the kids here. They're very intelligent students, you know.
Yes,
And I
indeed.
think they're going to go, yeah, they're going to go far.
In fact, the winner of that competition, which I neglected to mention, is 8 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That the potential. No wonder they can make a decision what they're going to do in the future. But I think they are enjoying themselves, and I think some of them are going to go into poetry. But they're really, as you can listen, did a great job.
Yes.
So it's just to keep you informed that I'm here.
It's good to know. Good to know that you're still in touch.
Yes. This is a very interesting program. I love it very much.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a blessed evening and keep up the good work as usual.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye. Your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. So quite a bit of gambling takes place in Jamaica. I mean, we have two major entities, plus there are others in different which use different platforms to facilitate betting on games, etc. Well, here in Jamaica, we had a national lottery. There was a national lottery here in Jamaica. I'm talking whether before Supreme Ventures and before the other company before Supreme Ventures and so on. So on this day in 1968, the first drawing of Jamaica's national lottery took place at the Carib Theatre with a prize of £10,000. The winning number was 46004. The drawing was carried live on radio and television. The proceeds from the lottery were to be used for development projects, including a new road from Maypen in Clarendon to the North Coast and a southern highway from Maypen to Black River in St. Elizabeth. The announcement of the National Lottery was made on October 31, 1968, by the Finance Minister, Edward Siaga. On this day in 1972, Jamaica's two international airports at Palisados and Montego Bay relinquished their given names and became Norman Manley International Airport and the Donald Sangster International Airport. The renaming was done in honor of the late Norman Washington Manley, national hero, and Sir Donald Sangster, former Prime Minister. And do we have, yeah, we can give you a few more. Let's come a little closer. On this day in 1992, the Daily Gleaner was changed to the Gleaner. Did anybody notice that? On this day in 1992, the name of the Daily Gleaner was changed to simply the Gleaner. That was 1992. Did you notice that? Let's move to 1997. On this day in 1997, the Sunday Gleaner reported that close to 80% of Jamaicans enumerated were likely to vote in the December 18 general election. According to a poll conducted by Don Anderson and his team of researchers on behalf of the Gleaner, between November 26 and December 3, 1997, 77.8% claimed they planned to turn out at the polls, whilst 21.6% said they had no intention to vote. Less than 1% of those interviewed offered no response. Let's share with you as well. Also in 1997, on this day in 1997, the Reverend Dr. Vivian Panton, chaplain of the police force, challenged political leaders to be kind and considerate during the period of political campaigning. Citizens, he said, needed to cooperate more with the police. Radio stations must play wholesome, sober, and sane music, and talk show hosts must be more respectful of authority figures. 1999, Prime Minister P.J. Patterson announced that emoluments for senior public sector executives, which exceeded the government's 10% pay limit over the 2-year period from April 1, 1998, were to be rolled back. This was one of several measures he told the House of Representatives he was introducing in response to the growing controversy over the salaries and perks paid to public sector executives. On this day in 2002, a memorial for George Campbell was held at St. Mary's Episcopal Church, 521 West 126th Street in Harlem, New York. George Campbell was a renowned Jamaican poet, Panamanian by birth, Jamaican by identity, militant by inclination, died in his sleep at age 85 in New York City, November 20, 2002, after a long illness. His most famous works are Negro Aroused and Litany. Langston Hughes used Campbell's poem Litany in Poetry of the Negro. Litany inspired the symbol for the first Carifesta held in Guyana in 1972, a brown hand holding up a golden sun. It was used for all Carifesta-related banners, souvenirs, and craft, as well as postage stamps issued by Guyana to commemorate the event. In 1980, Campbell represented Jamaica in Havana, Cuba, as one of 44 intellectuals judging in the Premio Casa de las Americas. Campbell's poetry has been published in numerous anthologies and textbooks in Jamaica and around the world. In the US, Campbell's poem, Holy, was included in the 1994 anthology, A Grateful Heart, Daily Blessings for the Evening Meal, From Buddha to the Beatles. Litany will also appear in The Bridge of Stars, an anthology scheduled to be published in Germany, Holland, and the UK, as well as the USA. George Campbell graduated from St. George's College in Kingston. In 1945, he migrated to New York City, where he attended the dramatic workshop of the New School of Social Research. There, he worked with Erwin Piscator, former head of the German National Theatre, who had fled Nazi Germany. He also attended the Catherine Dunham School of Dance. Before leaving Jamaica, he worked as a journalist and critic at the Daily Gleaner and Public Opinion. In addition, he edited the welfare reporter, The Sun, and contributed to Focus, a literary publication co-founded with Edna Manley. He was a librettist for an opera by Salvador Ley, former head of Guatemala's Conservatory of Music. And, good afternoon, Sharon Wiles. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Sharon Wiles, who's greeting us. She says, greetings, Sir Dervan Malcolm, from 38,000 feet in the air, heading to Spain for ministry. Well. Dr. Sharon Wiles, you're outdoing yourself these days. Well done. Keep in touch, please. Keep in touch. And all the very best. Hasta luego. See you soon. Sharon Richard says, pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, and all listeners out there. One love. Thank you, Sharon Richards. So we've heard from the Sharons. Thank you very much for staying in touch. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 7th of December, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care. Hi, Mrs. Barker. Hi. Yes, thank you. Mhm. Very smart. Yes, indeed. I was called out of bed this morning. Yes. And then my wife was working me as well this morning. And had to take my mother-in-law to the doctor as well for checkup and so on. So it's been one of those days, long day.
So you need to go home and get some rest.
That's what I'm planning to do right now.
Oh.
That's what I'm planning to do.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, then. I'll safe journey home.
Thank you very much, and I haven't forgotten the banana drink.
Right.
Hopefully, I'll come to you sooner than later.
Don't want it to you come. You don't get it.
Right.
No.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, yes.